Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Hi there everyone, thank you for joining me for this review of Bad Company Running with the Pack. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, the bell for notifications. Check out the link below in the description that'll take you over to TWA, that is Trampoline Wrestling Association. Let's get into this review. And don't forget my Patreon link as well. Running with the Pack is the third album I have out of the Bad Company set, Swan Years set that I picked up. Third album in progression of release. You got Bad Company, then Straight Shooter, now Running with the Pack. I like the artwork. It's kind of cool, simple, straightforward. You can already tell this isn't going to be a great review, right? By the way, I'm hemming and hawing already. Live for the Music opens up the album, and it's kind of like the most upbeat, fast song on the album. This really is a slow kind of album. And not necessarily just slow as in love songs. I just mean slow as in slow in general. Like the music, I don't think there's... Live for the Music is probably the only song on here that really... Maybe Honey Child, okay. Live for the Music and Honey Child really feel like they're the only ones that have a tempo that might go above 120 tops. You know, maybe. I could be wrong on one or the other, two or the other ones here. Live for the Music kicks off the album. Really kind of fun, sort of, but basic kind of tune. That goes into Simple Man, not in any relation to Skinner's Simple Man. Totally different song, but kind of lyrical content is similar. Slower tune on here. It's the first of a slew of slower tunes on here. Then you get into Honey Child. Honey Child's kind of got like that soul rhythm and blues up tempo going to it, which is kind of nice. But lyrically doesn't do anything for me. Love Me Somebody is boring. Running with the Pack is okay, but Running with the Pack is the perfect example of a lot of the problems with this album, which I'll get to as I get to the end, because this is kind of a repetitive thing, and if you've noticed me looking down, that's because Pandora decided to start antagonizing me here. So let's take a moment for Pandora to say hello. Say hello, Pandora. All right. Did you get your moment? Thank you. That's sweet. Kitty kisses. All right. Now, hopefully, Pandora will let me get through the rest of this. Okay. Now, where was I? All right. Running with the Pack wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the fact that this album has not really had a lot of up tempo at this point. Like Live for the Music, well, it might have had a little bit of a quicker tempo, wasn't really up-tempoed. Honey Child, well, being a little up-tempoed, wasn't that up-tempoed. Like, I mean, it's got a good up-tempo to it and whatnot, but it's just not that much. So by the time you get to Running with the Pack, it's just kind of like, oh my God, stop. Stop. And I'll get back to this. You hit Silver, Blue, and Gold. This song had some potential, a little bit, but it ran into the same problem that I find a lot of the songs on this album run into, which I'm going to cover all at once. Young Blood was alright, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't really stand out. Do Right By Your Woman. I don't like this song. No. This is the type of kind of soul R&B kind of stuff I'm not a fan of. Really slow, just kind of Sweet Little Sister was okay-ish, and then Fade Away closes out the album. All right. The album was produced by the band. Some bands, when they produce their albums, it's great. Other bands, not so much. This is definitely one of those albums that I think the band producing it heard it, because no one was telling them to cut the songs shorter. No one was telling them to tighten up the songs. Um, Running with the Pack and Silver, Blue, and Gold in particular, they just drag on and on, and there's no need for. They're like, there's nothing cool or exciting going on to really warrant the dragging it on and on and on. It's really bad how bad it drags. Like, they really needed kind of someone to rein them in and say, guys, tighten this up. It only needs to be like 3 minutes. It only needs to be like three and a half. It does not need to be five unless you're going to do something with it. This album here is one of the reasons why punk blew up the way it did. Now this album is from 76, so punk really wasn't for another couple years. But the whole reason, the whole rationale behind punk was to tighten it down. You don't need these big, giant, extravagant, overly long songs. I love epic songs. I love long songs. I love songs that really go somewhere and do something. These songs really don't, and there's a lot of fade outs on these songs, which tells me that they really, once again, they needed a producer on this album. They needed someone to help them focus, get some proper endings to their songs on some of these songs. And I mean, I enjoy a good fade out too, because that means if you go see it live, it could really have some potential. But to me, none of these songs have that type of potential. There's no great exploration in them. There's no nothing to it. It's just simply an album that the band released. It almost feels like they would, if this album had been released in the last 3-4 years, it would have been a COVID album. That would be the best way to describe it. That's how this feels. In the modern day context, it's a COVID album. Are there some tracks on here worthwhile? Yeah, if you mix them in with some other tracks like on a greatest hits. Live for the Music, if it's mixed into a greatest hits, not a bad one. Honey Child, if it's mixed in with, a greatest hits, not a bad one. Simple Man, not bad. Running with the Pack, not bad. I know Do Right by Your Woman would get thrown onto a greatest hits package. I wouldn't personally put it on there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. If I could get my hands on the masters and do a cut and edit and do that whole wonderful thing using modern tools and whatnot to redo this album, give it a fresher kind of vibe right off the masters, I would love a chance at it, because I think I could definitely make this a tighter album, make it sound better. But that's just not an option. So, what are you going to do? But yeah, folks, that's kind of my thoughts, my views, my opinions. Let me know what your thoughts, views, and opinions are. That's what the comment section is for down below. Once again, if you could please hit the like button, subscribe button, the bell for notifications. That's great. It helps out both me and you. Link once again to the TWA, the Trampoline Wrestling Association, and to my Patreon. And other than that, peace, love, take care.